Today we will discuss Tilar versus Republic of the Philippines, GR number 214529, promulgated on July 12, 2017. The topic is Article 1 of the Family Code of the Philippines. Before anything else, just a disclaimer. The individual behind this YouTube channel is a law student. This is not an attempt to present himself as an expert in the field, but merely an effort to share his knowledge of persons and family relations based on what he learns and understands in his study of law. This lecture is merely a supplement to your study of this subject. It does not seek to replace your reading materials or contradict what your professors have discussed with you. Let's go to the facts of this case. Jerisus Tilar filed with the RTC of Baybay City a petition for declaration of nullity of his marriage with Elizabeth Tilar on the ground of the latter's psychological incapacity. The RTC dismissed the petition on the ground of lack of jurisdiction because the marriage was celebrated pursuant to the canon law. According to the RTC, marriages solemnized and celebrated by the Church are governed by the canon law, and the state is not authorized to inquire into its validity under the principle of separation of church and state. In this case, Jerisus and Elizabeth are husband and wife. Now, when their relationship turned sour, Jerisus filed with the RTC a petition to nullify his marriage with his wife. Pero sabi ng RTC, teka muna, we cannot assume jurisdiction over your case because your marriage was celebrated according to the teachings of Catholic Church. In this case kasi, the spouses were married in a Catholic church. So according to the RTC, the state's hands are tied because of the separation of church and state. Is this correct? Let's go to the issue. Whether or not the RTC has jurisdiction over the petition for declaration of nullity of marriage solemnized by a Catholic priest and held in a church. The Supreme Court said yes. According to the Supreme Court, although marriage is considered a sacrament in the Catholic Church, it has civil and legal consequences which are governed by the Family Code. As petitioner correctly pointed out, the instant petition only seeks to nullify the marriage contract between the parties as postulated in the Family Code of the Philippines, and the declaration of the parties' marriage in the religious and ecclesiastical aspect is another matter. Notably, the proceedings for church annulment, which is in accordance with the norms of canon law, is not binding upon the state as the couple is still considered married to each other in the eyes of the civil law. Thus, the principle of separation of church and state finds no application in this case. The Supreme Court here said that yes, you are married in the Catholic Church, but insofar as the civil and legal consequences of your marriage are concerned, they are governed by the Family Code. The court also agreed with the petitioner that the religious aspect of a marriage is separate from that of its legal aspect. Therefore, since they are married under the eyes of the law of the state, then the state can take cognizance of the case. As marriage is a lifetime commitment which the parties cannot just dissolve at whim, the Family Code has provided for the grounds for the termination of marriage. These grounds may be invoked and proved in a petition for annulment of voidable marriage or in a petition for declaration of nullity of marriage, which can be decided upon only by the court exercising jurisdiction over the matter. Section 19 of Batas Pambansa bilang 129 as amended, otherwise known as the Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980, provides Section 19, Jurisdiction in Civil Cases. Regional trial courts shall exercise exclusive original jurisdiction in all actions involving the contract of marriage and marital relations. Hence, a petition for declaration of nullity of marriage, which the petitioner filed before the RTC of Baybay City, falls within its exclusive jurisdiction. Thus, the RTC erred in dismissing the petition for lack of jurisdiction. Here, the law is very clear. All actions involving the contract of marriage and marital relations fall exclusively within the jurisdiction of the RTC. Therefore, the RTC is wrong for dismissing the petition on ground of lack of jurisdiction. Picture yourself in an oral recitation with your professor. How would you respond if these questions were asked? Why did the petitioner file a petition for declaration of nullity of marriage? Petitioner filed with the RTC a petition for declaration of nullity of marriage on the ground of the private respondent's psychological incapacity based on Article 36 of the Family Code. Petitioner consulted a clinical psychologist and respondent was said to be suffering from aggressive personality disorder as well as histrionic personality disorder, which made her psychologically incapacitated to comply with her essential marital obligations. Second question, why did the RTC dismiss the case? The lingering issue that confronts this court, whether it can validly pass upon the validity of church marriage in the light of separation of church and state as enunciated in Article 6 of the 1987 Constitution. Is the separation of church and state applicable in this case? The answer is no. As petitioner correctly pointed out, the instant petition only seeks to nullify the marriage contract between the parties as postulated in the Family Code of the Philippines, and the declaration of nullity of the parties' marriage in the religious and ecclesiastical aspect is another matter. Notably, the proceedings for church annulment, which is in accordance with the norms of canon law, is not binding upon the state, as the couple is still considered married to each other in the eyes of the civil law. That would be all. Thank you for listening. May your love for the law remain strong, as always. Maraming salamat po.